Now another exclusive, and on a Friday night, no less. Earlier in the week, Alec Murdaugh's lawyers were on this show demanding a new trial for their client. Why? Because they say the jury had been tampered with, coerced by a county clerk. They told us they had sworn affidavits from these jurors, that the county clerk, Rebecca Hill, told them how to vote when they were deliberating. Here's their argument.
What we did not take into account is that the clerk of court, according to the testimony, would go into the jury room and tell this jury, don't be fooled by his testimony. That is outrageous if true, honestly.
If true. The lawyer who previously represented Murdaugh's financial victims is now involved. And he says he's representing other members of this jury, and they say the claims you just heard are completely false. Eric Bland joins us now. Counselor, good to see you again.
Good to see you, Chris.
So first, let's take care of the two things true at once possibility, which is the jurors that Murdaugh's attorneys have say they were coerced, but they are different jurors than the ones you're representing who didn't know those jurors, so they're not aware of the claims. Could that be the case here?
Well, no, I don't think so. I think just because you say it over and over again and you may say it loud doesn't make it true. I don't believe anybody has said to date, even those jurors that gave affidavits, that they were coerced. I don't think anybody said that their jury verdict was the product of coercion or duress. In fact, I don't want to have a system where jurors make a decision, then are individually polled and say that they have given a true and just verdict. And then 3 months later, they start to say, well, maybe I have second thoughts or something happened. And then all of a sudden they flip. We can't have a system like that. Without revealing attorney-client privilege, I believe that my clients, when the time comes for them to be under oath, if they're going to be under oath, I think they're going to tell a different story than what was told by the microphone by Dick Harpootlian. And remember, when you go for the king, you better hit the king and you better kill the king. If Dick does not score on this, because there could be 10 jurors, Chris, that are going to come in and say that didn't happen, Becky Hill's going to have the greatest defamation claim against Dick Harpootlian that the legal world has ever seen.
Well, only if she also has the claim against the jurors who signed the affidavits who say it did happen, right? We know he's not making it out of whole cloth.
He doesn't have immunity for that. He doesn't have immunity in the press conference.
No, but what I'm saying is he's not making up the jurors, right? So if they say what they said, you have two possibilities, three possibilities. One, it happened and they didn't know it was wrong when it happened. They didn't know that this lady talking to them that way and giving her opinions to them was wrong. Possibility one. Possibility two is they're making it up. Okay. Possibility three is they're not making it up, but your jurors are acting in good faith as well because they never talked to these two people. So they weren't aware of what Hill did to them. You say you don't think that is true. Okay. But it could be.
It could be, but I don't think if she spoke, she wouldn't have spoken to two jurors. She would have spoken to the entire pool. So the fact that 10 people said it didn't happen and she wouldn't be talking to two separate jurors and giving them advice if she was.
They're on break.
Because
they're walking around. She has a chance to get to one of them. Then she has a chance to get to another. It's not like they walk around as a pack.
Nah. They go together and they're put in a room together and they have to stay together. And the allegation that they were not entitled to given a cigarette break, Chris, that's a privilege. That's not a right. Nobody has a right to a cigarette break during deliberations. It's a common courtesy that some courts do. In New York, they don't do it. In Philadelphia, they don't do it, but maybe once a day. But you don't have a right during deliberations to get a cigarette break. And Dick made a big issue of that. I am concerned that the process here may be affected by what Harpootlian did at that press conference. One, he made an allegation against the judge that I think was telegraphed, that the Judge Newman cannot be the one to hear this if the appellate court reverses and brings it back for a hearing, because he said he was a witness. He's just made Judge Newman a witness, and Judge Newman may not be able to hear it. There's a number of things that Dick said that troubled me, and I don't think at this time that there is a situation where we have jurors that are in agreement. We have jurors that are in disagreement. I do agree that there has to be an investigation. I do agree it needs to be looked into. But what do we do, Chris, if 10 jurors say it didn't happen and 2 say it did? I don't think that's enough to overturn it.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of News Nation's fact-driven coverage.